Alrighty, friends, let's make this answer key up in here. Alright, so we gotta show work, given table, identify domain and range. So the domain are the set of x values. So you could say the domain is, I'm gonna put them in order, 1, 2, and 3. And the range, you don't have to put them in order, I'm just putting them in order because it makes me more comfy in my tum-tums. -5, -4, -3, -2. Notice that the range comes from here, and the domain comes from here. That is useful. Determine if we have a function or just a relation. Well, let's make some potatoes. 1, 2, 3. -5, -4, -3, -2. And pick some different colors. Let's see. 1 goes to -4. 2 goes to -3. 3 goes to -2. And then 2 go, Right there is a problem, so this is just a relation. A relation is pairing of x's and y's, whereas function is very specific. For every x, you can only have one y. Since we have 2 y's for 1 x, this is not a function. For number 2, we could do that vertical line test idea where we draw vertical lines, and I don't even need that many, because if I draw one vertical line and I hit in 2 places, we do not have a function. So this is not a function, it is just a relation, because for this input, I have 2 outputs. I have 2 y values for this x value. Given the function, find f of -2. So I've got f of x, so that says f of -2. Wherever I see x, let's go ahead and put in -2. So that means we have f of -2 is going to be 3, so that's a -4 times a -2, so plus 8. So f of -2 is 11. Last one on this page, we got g of x has to be 10, so replace g of x with 10. So 10 equals 2x minus 18, so this is a linear equation. So let's go ahead and add 18 to both sides, and then divide by 2. And that's it for those. This one, given each function, fill in the table. So we have -2 times -2 plus 1. So that's 4 plus 1, which is 5. And then -2 times -1 plus 1, which is 2 plus 1, which is 3. And then we have -2 times 0 plus 1. That's 0 plus 1, which is 1. Notice that the -2 and the 1 are fixed. Those are showing up each time. Then I'm going to have -2 times 1 plus 1, and that's going to be -1. And then that's -1. And then we plug in 2. -2 times 2 is 4 plus 1. Sorry, -4 plus 1 is -3. Plot the points. -2, 5 is here. The x value is -2. The y value is 5. -1, 3. 0, 1. 1, -1. And then 2, -3. And connect the dots. Boop. Oh, I missed. That was a terrible one. Let's try again. Boop. That's better. I missed a little bit, but we'll pretend. Let's make the dots bigger. There we go. So this is the same idea. We plug in those points again. We're going to be 2 times -2 squared plus 1. So -2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1. That's not a plus 1, that's a -1. I forgot how to read. -1 is 7. And then we're going to do the next point. 2 times -1 squared minus 1. -1 squared is 1 times 2 is 2. Apparently my computer decided to restart. -1 is 1. Now let's plug in 0. 2 times 0 squared minus 1. 0 squared is 0 times 2 is 0 minus 1 is -1. 1, -1. When I plug in 1, 2 times 1 squared minus 1, that's going to be 1 squared is 1 times 2 is 2 minus 1 is 1. So this is just order of operations. So 2 times 2 squared minus 1, I have to do the squaring first. So I have to do this part first. 2 squared is 4. Then I do the multiplication. 4 times 2 is 8. And then I subtract 1, which is 7. Well, I'm noticing a little pattern there. So negative 2, that's 6. Negative 2, 7. Negative 1, 1. 0, negative 1. 1, 1. And 2, 7. Connect the dots. Notice how this one is nonlinear. This is a quadratic. It's going to look like this, or it could look like this, I suppose. Whereas the other one was a line. So, whoop. If you have questions, let us know, my friends.